So, what have you been reading book talk wise?
Book talk.
Because I'm reading Frost and Fortitude by, don't remember the name, but it's pretty much kind of seems like a Robin Hood remake in a way, or a continuation of a story. It's by, was it JP? Nope, damn it, I just turned off my phone. It's AP Beswick, A Frost of Fear and Fortitude. And essentially they're snow, frost, but this whole thing's, where I'm at right now is, it's only like a 4 or 5 hour book, so it's a short story.
Okay.
But it definitely has the feel of there's magic. The main character that you're following has all these magic things, but it's like, oh, where'd you grow up? I don't know. Well, how'd you earn your powers? I don't know. Or I can't tell you. Is his response. And everyone's just like, well, what? I don't remember. I don't know. It's not that I don't want to tell you. I just don't. And you find out this in like the first couple chapters.
That sounds a little sketch to me.
It's like, okay, so potentially you have this crazy badass that doesn't remember. So did he get his mind wiped for this? Or so I'm still in this, what's going on in the book? What's going on in the book? But it's pretty much a short story. And it's a good escape from reality. But it's pretty much frozen tundra.
Yeah.
Like kids get lost and they're over here exploring it, and it's like, oh, we got these like evil demons that turn into humans or eat the souls of humans. And it's like, oh, we're gonna find them before they take everyone else on the farm. And it's just like,
that doesn't turn out well, does it?
Guess you have to read the book and find out.
It sounds like a lot of work.
It does.
I don't like reading.
No, he's swimming again.
That's your dog.
Yep.
You created this monster.
I created a monster. Bo Duke's over here swimming in our little kiddie pool.
Both your child and your dog are obsessed with water.
But that's been my book reading for the week.
I feel like you were reading this last week.
I was reading portions of it last week.
Yeah, I need you to speed back up, man.
I do. I'm reading a bunch of my self-help books. I went from like February to April. So I read through like 2 months of reading in about a week.
Okay, my book. Which is
all yours.
Far more important than your book.
Always. Why wouldn't it be?
It is called Trader's Blade, The Great Coats, Book 1, by Sebastian de Castell. And it very much takes a nod from the Three Musketeers, but not like the movie or like any media depictions of the Three Musketeers.
Like old school
Three
Musketeers?
It's like the book version of the Three Musketeers. Because the book version of the Three Musketeers, there's some like darkness and shit going on there, right?
Yeah. That the movie's only hinted at in some aspects.
But you start out and you're following along, and early on in the story, you find out that these three individuals, obviously, right, are they're part of what used to be called the Great Cloaks, right? And it was an organization, and they were essentially, can you fix that? They were essentially the king's
guard.
Kind of. They were their like highway patrol. They looked out for the peasants. They had more authority than the dukes.
So they were his right hand without being his right hand.
Right.
They cared about the community.
And their job was to uphold the law and to keep everyone in check.
This is what the king said, and this is what we're doing.
Right. But for one reason or another, when the dukes rebelled against the king and came to the castle to depose him, they stood aside while he was killed. In formation, just hung out and watch it go down.
Interesting.
Right? And so we start off and we're following these three, and they used to be called the Great Cloaks, Great Coats. I keep saying cloaks. Great Coats. but now the populace likes to call them the Tattercoats because
They turned on their king.
well, their honor is in tatters, right?
Okay.
So they have no honor and they're despised, and the dukes are against them, and it's just everything's bad. But without giving away too much more of the story, there's magic in this world. There's badass swordsmanship in this world. There's, it's a cool dynamic because they were left with missions by their king. Like every member of the Great Coats was given individually pulled in and given a mission by their king. And so we're following what was the leader of the Great Coats as he's trying to fulfill his mission.
Even after the king's dead.
Even after the king's dead. And some of the coats had missions that they were specifically instructed not to tell anyone else about.
That
And so
definitely adds a lot of different plot points.
There's intrigue, there's assassination, there's epic fights, there's all sorts of stuff. My favorite thing is early on, one of the main characters, he gets a crossbow bolt through his leg. And so, they finally stop and they're going to take care of the wound. And he's like, okay, what are we going to do? Okay, punch, pull, slap? Yeah. And essentially the concept is that you can only focus on one form of pain at a time.
Yep.
So punch, pull the arrow out, and then slap as hard as you can.
I mean, it's not wrong.
It's stuff like that I find hilarious.
Medically, you can only focus on one pain at a time.
So I think it ties. It feels very much like that Three Musketeers, right? Like you get a lot of that, and you get a lot of the movements going on in the background, and these guys are trying to hold up to their honor, and they're trying to fulfill their mission, and they're trying to maintain what they had, and then reclaim it again
to the standard.
To the standard, right? Because they want to uphold the expectations. And there's time skips back and forth, back all the way to the beginning when everything was starting and to now, right?
That definitely makes the book more interesting, because now you have the past, the present, the current, everything else that's going on at the same time. Oh, she's going for the ball in there.
Going for the ball.
Hi, Bo. I am over here trying to hold a conversation.
Pause while I try and dissect this toy.
He pauses as Bo just needs to be in my face.
That's your dog.
He loves me this much.
It says something about you, I think.
That I need attention.
Yeah.
I'm in danger. Mike has a knife. Ugh, okay. You're on Cabo, making him soaked. But I'm sure Cabo doesn't care.
Cabo doesn't care. Cabo doesn't care if you're soaking me.
Or just lay down, because you're fine.
But do you not want the ball? You were trying to dissect it. You were literally eating it.
I mean, I'm glad all the toys that came in those boxes are finally being
utilized. Yeah, you can count on Pearl.
Hey, that's fine. Before I had Starbuck, who just destroyed toys. I just got this toy and pieces.
Old lumpy head.
Old lumpy head.
But anyways, that was about the Great Coats.
It sounds interesting. It definitely gives you the intrigue.
I'm not that far into the story.
Me neither.
Because
I've been on this book forever.
I picked it up yesterday. And I haven't done any reading today.
But a lot of driving.
A lot of driving. A lot of existing. What is it, Bo? What is it, you wet mothball?
Yeah, my shirt's soaked. So, I mean, that's Mike's book talk.
That is book talk.